Let's just not beat around the bush here, shall we? God of War is, simply put, one of the best action-adventure games you can possibly get for your PlayStation 2. The game is the first sort of non-Twisted Metal project headed up by director David Jaffe, who is responsible for pretty much all the games in the Twisted Metal series. And it is, without a doubt, an absolutely resounding success. It is such a well-refined, polished, awesome game in every way. In the game, you play as this muscular, angry-looking Spartan warrior named Kratos. You are on a mission of revenge to go kill the god of war, Ares, who has sort of wronged you. The gods have kind of charged you with this task, and you gotta basically find a way to kill him before he destroys Athens. It would be really easy for a game like this to just kind of like, you know, forget about the plot and forget about the characters and whatever, you're just running around, gonna go kill the god of war, that's that. But the game actually takes a really slow burn kind of approach with the storyline, and it just kind of slowly feeds you information about who Kratos is, how he got to this point in his life, where it all goes, and by the end of it, you really want to kill the God of War. You are stoked to be killing the God of War. It is awesome. First and foremost, God of War is just a ton of fun. It is such a simple mix of combat and puzzle solving. It might as well almost be a Zelda game in some ways. The combat is just so friendly. It's just like a couple of different attack buttons that can be strung together into combos. You don't really have to worry too much about memorizing combos. It's a very natural feeling game. And likewise, the puzzle solving, you know, some of them are pretty challenging, but there's none that are like so far beyond your reach that you'll just throw down your controller in frustration. You know, it's balanced between the combat and the puzzle solving in such a way that it's a fine line it walks, and it walks it really well. God of War has an immensely dark tone to it, but it's not the kind of dark tone that is like angry for the sake of being angry. It doesn't take itself very seriously in the way that it does things. All the action is just so overwrought and crazy. Kratos is just such a phenomenal badass. He's the ultimate anti-hero in a sense, because he'll kill anybody, he has no mercy for anyone. All he wants to do is kill the God of War, and you can kind of understand where he's coming from after a while. The most memorable aspects of this game are just really everything is. The boss fights are absolutely epic. The combat is really good, even just against grunt enemies, and there's all these context-sensitive actions in the game that are really amazing. Say you're fighting a particularly big enemy and you're trying to wear him down, a little icon will appear over his head once you've worn him down enough. And then once you press the corresponding icon, you kind of get in this like little mini-game thing where, like, you know, you got to press certain buttons or you got to mash a certain button, and eventually you'll pull off some really cool move that'll just totally like eviscerate the guy, and it's rad. These even kind of translate into the puzzles. There's this one puzzle sequence where you have to pull the head off of this corpse to use the skull to put it in a door to unlock the door. But even that, like, you have to mash the buttons to like yank the skull off of the corpse. There's just so much of this stuff. You're climbing around on walls and you're like, you know, you're just pressing buttons to like grab dudes and slam them into the wall and throw them off. It's just, in case you hadn't noticed, I really enjoyed it. Most importantly, God of War just really works as a whole. Every component in the game feels like it should be there. There's no filler, there's no like random mechanics that just seem like throwaways. You need everything this game has to offer. The different combat types, the magics, the puzzles, the way it all fits together is just seamless. It is simply a fantastic game. It is one of the best action-adventure games on the PlayStation 2, if not just out of this console generation, period. And if you have a dark sense of humor, if you love the action-adventure games, if you don't mind a whole lot of blood and maybe a little bit of nudity here and there, this is the game for you.